Alright, we're going to do a little bit of recording here. I'm going to try and do some Assetto Corsa, doing some online racing with Assetto Corsa for the first time, so I figured maybe I would record this experience and
Acknowledged.
see how it goes. So we're running the Chevrolet Corvette C6R at Road America. A couple of mods here inside of Assetto Corsa. Again, this is my first time doing it, and so far my impressions are this. It took 4 tries to load it. It kept booting me off the server for not having some
Exits clear. Push.
LODS.ini file for some car that's not even being used. It's like from some Skoda or something that's in a mod that I don't even have installed. So that's not a great first impression.
Yellow flag. Watch out.
So I'm quite familiar with this car, or at least a variant of this car from iRacing, and same with this track. I've run this track a bunch on iRacing, one of my favorites. But I figured maybe I'd give it a go in Assetto Corsa. I know some people don't have the money to pony up for all the subscription content for iRacing. I'm fortunate I've got probably 2 or 3 grand worth of content, but it's been spread out over 11 years, so it's not that big of a hit. But I know a lot of people are on a little tighter budget. Maybe you don't have income of your own because you're a kid and you live with your parents or whatever. But so I'm giving the budget option a try, or maybe just a different option. Maybe you want to be able to play offline and you want to be able to jump in and do the same thing in online competition. So we'll see how it is with Assetto Corsa. So I don't have any streaming overlays for this game or anything yet. Like I said, this is kind of a spur of the moment thing. I purchased a key for Content Manager yesterday, and I just wanted to see how everything works. Doing a little bit of a deep dive into Assetto Corsas. I've only messed with the career mode on it so far. So come to take the green flag here for a qualifying lap. It's a 20-minute race. I'm running put 48 or 50 liters of fuel in to start the race. Probably a little bit excessive for qualifying, but whatever.
The leader has just done a 2:08.2. The guy ahead's lap time is a 3:40. The leader has just done a 2:07.9.
It looks like there's at least one guy that's quick in here.
Sector 1 is 1.7 off the pace.
I ran a little bit of offline practice before I started to just get familiar with this version of the car and the track, and best I got down to was a 209. So I think that guy's probably got some more time than I do, but that's okay. So we're more about documenting the experience here. So I can do I want to do a little bit of a comparison series with the online experience of Assetto Corsa, Assetto Corsa Competition, R Factor, Race Room, etc. Kind of make a little series out of it. Rate each one individually and then come back afterwards and rate them all together. We'll see how it goes.
Sector 2 is 4.0 seconds off the pace. Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
So we'll only get this one lap in for qualifying. That's okay. I was kind of last minute decided I'd record this.
That puts you 6.9 seconds off the leader's pace.
All right, at 2:14.7, so about 5 seconds off of the pace. But that's with a heavy fuel load, not a ton of practice, and being pretty distracted. So we'll take it. We've got a minute and 15 seconds left of qualifying, and then a 20-minute race here. So again, this is the Chevrolet Corvette C6R. It's a modification that you can download. I believe it's from Race Department is where I got it. So anyway, if you pull up a content manager for Assetto Corsa, it'll give you, like, you can go to like live races and stuff like that. And this is one of the SRS races, sim racing system. It'll give you links for the content and stuff like that. So in that regard, it's really cool to be able to look at what is available for online racing and what you need to be able to do it. So for that part so far, that's pretty simple. Yeah, guys down at a 207. So it looks like at race pace we should be top 10 ish for race pace, top half of the field anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Should be fun. One thing I've noticed is the netcode prediction is a little weird. So the cars that are coming from the other players, they float on the track, and instead of just being like in the track and actually being predictable, they seem to float, and they'll, like, sometimes they'll be skewed at like quite an angle, and they'll just like dart all over the place. And I'm sure some of that has to do with the fact that the server's in Germany, so I've got like 120 millisecond ping time coming all the way from Seattle. So um, it's a little bit worse than what I'm used to with iRacing. Is usually with iRacing I have between 70 and a 90 millisecond ping. All right, so checker flag just dropped on the qualifying session. We're just gonna wait for the session to transition over to race right quick. Boy, a little bit of coffee here. The one thing that is a little bit less straightforward in Assetto Corsa is vehicle skins, like how to make paint jobs and stuff like that. So there's in iRacing, there's another service called Trading Paints, and it's pretty well publicized, so it's really easy to find. And Trading Paints has a utility that will download all the cars that are in your race, so you don't have to maintain the inventory of the different skins or anything. It does it all for you. So we'll see how this goes, and I'll do a little bit more digging to figure out if that's something that's available for Assetto Corsa. But for the time being, we've got a whole lot of cars that are running the exact same skin. So it looks like cars 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 17, and 20. It looks like we're all running the same car, which is going to be a little bit confusing. You're not going to know who's who.
Fastest lap for Richard, 207.2.
All right, session just closed out here. We should be looking to transition over to race, and there it is right there. All right, we're going to go to grid here. And you can see right there just how confusing it's going to be with every car being the same color. So this is almost like a one model race. If you ever ran like Gran Turismo or something like that, where you have like, single car races, but like a full field of single car races, it's kind of how it is here. Waiting for everybody to come to grid. I'm not sure if this is a standing start or a rolling start. We'll kind of just take it as it comes. This is raw, like a reaction video almost. So sitting on grid here, we're still pulling good frames. So all right, here we are. We're going green. and somebody just did not go. The one thing I'm used to from iRacing, you can see the cars darting all over the place up there. One thing I'm used to is having a relative screen up, so I know where cars are. I could be running. There's a plugin called a Heli Corsa that kind of gives you a perspective of where everyone's at, and oh, that's not good. Oh goodness. All right, so the level of competition is certainly a lot lower than iRacing. That's just chaos right there. Anyway, there's a plugin called Heli Corsa that gives you a better perspective of where everybody's at. It kind of gives you a chart that you can put somewhere. I'm using another app called Crew Chief, which is a live spotter. So while I don't have the data on the cars, I at least have audio feedback. Tell me where everything's at. And the ticker on this game runs at the very bottom, which is fine if you're in single screen. If you're in triple screen, it's quite some work to figure out where you're at. So I know it's not captured in the screen capture software because I've got only the center screen showing, but I've got the position on the left monitor here, so I at least can tell where I'm at in regards to everybody else. All right, I got a car coming up on the right here. Trying to come up on the right.
Car right. Clear right.
So I kind of knew he was going to be a little wild there. He hit me.
The gap to Martinez behind is now 0.7. Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
See if we can pass this guy. He didn't really get slowed down too bad by the grass. Get back up to P11.
Car left. Clear left.
This is kind of fun. There's not a lot of populated servers in the other games. So the beauty of iRacing, of course, is the arrive and drive sort of deal where everything's on a schedule and there's a lot of different races to choose from. So depending on what license you have, like there's always something to race. This was a scheduled race. I saw it with about 25 minutes left of registration, so I kind of just went with it. I'm waiting for breakfast right now, so.
Okay, Brandon, the next car is brown.
Figured maybe I'd give it a go. So we're 3 minutes into this one. Oh, that was a good braking zone. So I don't want to go too crazy with like driving physics and all that. I'm certainly not an expert with all that. I'm more looking for the experience. Like, what's the experience like for a new player who doesn't really know what this game has to offer? I missed a shift down there. One thing that's a little bit different with Assetto Corsa is the fact that there's third-party mods available, it's actually really cool. And for offline races and stuff like that, that's really neat. And for online, it's working out okay. But one thing that's always a concern for me is how do things interact with each other? Right? If you have a bunch of mods all running together, like how do those things interact? So I've got some shader patches, and I've got Soul, which is like a weather mod, and all sorts of other stuff installed. So fortunately, all that stuff is playing nice together. We're still able to hold good frames. We're not having any issues related to that, but as we saw with the connection issue, trying to just get to the server, sometimes it looks for random things that you're not, that you don't even have installed. So that could definitely use some improvement.
Okay, Brandon, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
Alright, let's see if we can catch back up here. See if we can't get a top 10. Got a group of 3 cars there at the bottom of the hill. Like we're gaining on them a little bit. So I'm noticing some stutters that seem to be connection related. The servers for iRacing are pretty cool. Just the fact that they've got whole server banks on multiple continents, so you've got a good connection no matter where in the world you're at.
The gap to Martinez behind is now 0.4.
With here, it's on Assetto Corsa, it's smaller. We're gonna get hit here. So the Assetto Corsa, it's a much smaller, like independent server. I'm gonna let this guy go.
Right side's clear. P12.
Alright, at 212.
Yellow flag, caution.
Yeah, a lot of people disconnecting from the server and stuff mid-race, so that's kind of weird. Getting all the notifications and seeing all that come across the screen, but that's just, you know, it's not necessarily bad, it's just different. Another thing that's missing too is driver-to-driver communication. So one of the aspects of iRacing that I really enjoy is the voice chat. It's fun to be able to communicate when you're coming up on another car that you're trying to pass, or when you've got another car coming up on you that's trying to pass. And I'm sure that there's utilities and stuff that can be used to overcome that. You know, like if you have a Discord server that you run to go with the game server, whatever. It's a pretty easy workaround, but it's just not integrated. Mr. Pickles, what's the gap ahead?
Yellow flag, watch out, 8.8 seconds.
Alright, we may not be able to get that.
The leader has just done a 206.3.
So again, I'm just using the default setup for this car. No tuning or anything for this track. Like I said, this is just purely a what's it like if you just drop in somewhere sort of experience. Feel that anybody who's looking seriously at league racing and other things, they're probably looking elsewhere. Assetto Corsa is kind of a little bit more casual on the racing sim side of things, kind of a simcade game, not the greatest physics, but definitely more playable than other games. Yeah, so we started this race with 24. We're down to 14 cars now. 10 people, it appears, have quit the game. I'm gonna let this guy go again.
Keep your wits about you, mate. Clear left. Bad luck, Brandon. Come on, don't let him get away. You've got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes to go. Halfway home. We've got plenty of fuel.
Ooh, that's no good. A little bit of an off.
The stewards have warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines.
So far, the experience with Assetto Corsa in an online multiplayer sense
P11,
is,
1.2 seconds
I
ahead.
would say it's average at best. It's not the most intuitive thing to get into. You have to download mods separately for a lot of the servers. Then a lot of the servers are locked for league races or whatever.
The gap in front has
So if you
increased to
don't know where to look, if
1.6.
all you did is you saw this for sale, on the Steam store or something like that, and you just bought it without diving too much into community
13,
resources or whatever,
14
you
seconds behind
you
P12.
may really
The gap
struggle
to
trying to get a
Roland
good
behind is
experience.
increasing. It's now 14 seconds.
I can definitely see
Yellow
where
flag,
this can fill a
caution.
spot in the market, though. It's this game's got a good career mode, like the career progression in that is really fun. The AI at times can be a good distraction. They're kind of fun to race against. The offline mode of Assetto Corsa is really fun. Uh, the customizability with all of the mods and everything makes it really, really cool and kind of an attractive game if you want to just be able to plop a car down at a random track or pair like historical layouts with modern cars or the other way around. That's kind of fun. The driving feel, I know I said I wasn't going to go too much into physics, but the driving feel is weird. Like it's numb and too planted, I feel. Like there's
Need
certain
to watch your
points where
left side tyre temperatures.
you can feel the car like almost floating on top of the track.
Yellow flag,
And
watch
there's
out.
other spots where it feels like it's way too grippy. So I'm not sure if that's because the mods are, separately coded rather than like laser
On your
scanned or
left, clear
whatever.
left. We don't have the data.
I don't want to put too much judgment on that. The fact that somebody took the time to create something like this is pretty freaking amazing. It's
All right, Brandon,
a good
you've got half your
representation of
fuel
Road
left.
America for sure. All right, looks like we overfilled a little bit. Probably could have got away with 40 liters instead of 50.
P11.
Okay, now we're down to 13 active drivers. We're P11 out of 13, which is not fantastic, but like I said, this is a first race experience here. No setup,
The gap in front is now 2.9 seconds.
maybe 5 laps of practice. But it looks like we got some cars coming back to us here. So on a scale of 1 to 10, given a couple of categories here, ease of use, I'd give it about a 5. I found this through a third
Put
party.
pit tyre wear on all your tyres. Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
I found this through a third party utility. I would not have known about this if I would have just fired up the game. Having to download the mods separately, not a big deal if you get plugged in with where the mods and everything are at. So if you are running a couple of third party apps or you're tuned in with like race department or things like that, you can figure out what you need without too much difficulty. So I'd give that maybe a 6.
Yellow
Um,
flag.
level of competition, they give that probably a 6 as well. Sounds like I'm really dogging this game, but
5 minutes to
it's
go.
not
5
that bad.
minutes
Oh,
left.
there's a
Okay,
big
Brandon,
wreck
come
here.
on,
Let's see if
stay
we can get through the
focused.
middle.
Apex is in
All right,
excess. Apex
P9,
is in
P9.
excess.
And there's P8 right up there too. So with the coronavirus and everything going around, people having a little bit more time, I could definitely see somebody casually picking this game up and spending some more time in it than they would otherwise. So pretty cool to see that a game that's this long on the tooth, maybe 6 or 7 years, is still able to provide the entertainment for people. It's more diverse as far as mods and stuff, which maybe is why ACC isn't getting as much attention as it should get. I feel that, oh, there's P8 right there.
Car right, clear right. You need to push if we're going to hold this position.
This game is still loads easier to navigate than R Factor. The driving experience is not anywhere near what R Factor is, but for ease of use, I think it might make up for it. There's like a stepping stone, you know, like so you get into games and you're playing games like Forza or whatever. You move from Forza onto PC. This might be one of the first sims that you pick up on PC because you can, this game's also on consoles. And he's coming up on the left here, or the right.
Clear right.
But then you'll get into this game and you'll realize, hey, there's some online shortcomings here. You might get more interested in league play, and I think that's where R Factor really stands out. Is the sim experience in league play in R Factor 2 is pretty much unparalleled.
We don't have that data.
And then you get to the point where you don't have time to dedicate to all the leagues. You want to be able to drop in somewhere and race something at any given time, and then you move on to iRacing. And I think iRacing is key to the whole picture because it kind of brings everybody together. So
Yellow flag.
You have a lot of races going on all the time, regardless of whether you're looking for like open wheel, you're looking for GT cars, you're looking for oval racing, like it's all there.
52 seconds ahead. Come on, Brandon. Good stuff. Keep it coming.
All right, we should be coming up to white flag here. Oh, maybe not. No, we'll get white flag next time by. We're barely going to cross this time.
P8. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
See if we can't hold this guy off. We'll have to do a little bit of thinking as far as like a full-on rating for this game, but passable. There's definitely resources out there if you want to dig deeper into it, but that requires a little bit more work than a lot of people are going to be into. Not as simple as iRacing to get going. One of the downfalls of iRacing is also one of its biggest strengths, and that's the fact that it's a completely locked system. You know, it's like buying an Apple iPhone. You're not going to be able to root your phone. He's going to try and go left here. We're not going to let him. You're not going to be able to root it. You're not going to be able to do a bunch of mods or anything like that. But what you sacrifice in the freedom to do whatever you want, you gain back in compatibility and reliability. We got to give it to him in the braking zone here.
Clear right.
We'll just wait for him to have another off.
Car left. Clear left.
Or we'll just force him to the outside of the track.
P5. 20 seconds ahead. Car right. He's still there. Right side's clear.
This would be a nice time to have radio interaction because we could be talking crap to the other guy. He could be talking crap to us, and when the battle's over, we can talk about how much fun it is.
E9.
I said we should be top 10 fast. We're P9 right now. Coming up on P8 again, so we're going to try and pass them here. And we just got our fuel warning.
We estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
And we did okay.
The gap ahead is now 0.8.
Well, we made it through the last corner really well, but I don't think we're going to have what it takes to get back up there to P8. So we'll accept it. P9. Not bad for a first try here.
P9. Okay, we're done.
That was it. That was the first online race ever in Assetto Corsa. Finished P9 overall, right about 1 minute behind the leader. Not bad. So I'd say overall the online experience was acceptable. Like it wasn't the greatest. You know, iRacing is significantly better. Organized league activity in R Factor uh, also better. Um, but as far as an out of the box, just being able to just open up a game and connect somewhere, it's okay.
We haven't
It's a
got
good
that data.
stepping stone for sure. So, is it worth your time? Is it worth your money? I don't know that I'd pay full price for Assetto Corsa right now, as it's an older game that maybe uh, there's newer games and there's other games that have better physics and stuff. But if you get it on Steam sale, you're looking for something with a career mode. Assetto Corsa is definitely good, and being able to take those same cars that you drive offline and being able to put them online and go somewhere, that's pretty cool too. So anyway, the long and short of it, I think, is I would say, yeah, Assetto Corsa is worth the money. Um, the online experience overall was acceptable. Certainly some things to improve on, and I think I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into it and
No.
see what we can get up with. So, thanks for watching. You guys have a good day.